Ladies and gentlemen, my name is TotalBiscuit. There was a recent news article that stated that since the launch of Steam Direct, there have been 1,000 new games added to Steam. This has caused a fair amount of alarm amongst people because they have now assumed that Steam is absolutely flooded with nonsense and it's an unusable service when it comes to finding new games, stuff that you might be interested in, and it makes the job of the reviewer or the critic impossible. I don't think that's true. I really don't, because I think, honestly, crap is very self-evident, and it's pretty obvious when something isn't worth looking at. It might be a little less obvious when something is, but having that be part of your job to find those things and then highlight them to you is a totally reasonable position to be in. And frankly, as the most subscribed Steam Curator currently on Steam, our content should reflect that idea. A while ago, I launched a series called After Hour, and frankly, the whole theme of it was just a giant big indulgence, because I like the idea of it being themed after a kind of cigar lounge or a cognac bar where everyone's sort of sitting around in smoking jackets and stuff, and it's pointless. It's a totally pointless thing to call a video. It's needless self-indulgence that is hard to find. It doesn't resonate in any way with the audience. So, you know what? We'll rebrand the whole damn thing. So, everything that used to be After Hour is now TotalBiscuit suggests trying the name of the game. And there's going to be more of that. There's going to be a lot more of that. It's probably going to be the primary content that comes on this channel because it's the most efficient to make, and with so many games coming out, we kind of have to. WTF is will remain as the main critique format for the big games and things like that, stuff that needs more attention. But in this case, this is just a series of highlights. Anything you see here is going to be worth looking at in some way. So, now that we've got the explanation and bullshit out of the way, let's begin by saying that TotalBiscuit suggests trying Cryptark. Cryptark's been in early access for quite some time and came out of early access about a month or so ago. It's flown mostly under the radar, but it's by a company called Alientrap, who were responsible for Capsule a while ago, which was pretty cool, and also a game that I can't for the life of me remember the name of, but I did have a look at PAX a few years ago, which was kind of a Greek painting, art-themed sort of brawler that was all right, but simultaneously had a lot of problems in terms of player feedback, and the way that the characters were animated just made it an unsatisfying experience. So they decided, hey, we're going to go with the idea of a procedurally generated twin-stick shooter in which you're looting a bunch of hulks in outer space, and you're part of a mercenary company that has to sort of manage its finances and weapon systems and everything on the way. So every bullet costs money. Interesting idea. It's been done in a couple of games before. I recall that to some extent being included in the MechWarrior Mercenary spin-offs of the series, and it's an idea that I really like. So, Cryptark is that game, for all intents and purposes, and I'm going to show you a little bit of it and show you why it may very well be actually worth your time. So here we are in the main screen itself, and what you're going to see here as we move around. Annoyingly with the cursor keys, it would have been nice if this was mouse control. I'm not really sure why it's not, considering keyboard and mouse is totally fine for this. You see the different options as to where you can go. And these different hulks, as I said, all procedurally generated with a central theme, and you can see kind of at a glance as the sort of things you're going to be facing up against. Some of these are probably not going to be particularly easy. These are not the things that you really want to take on necessarily at this stage. And the level of protection and weaponry and items that you can bring into a level is determined primarily by what you've gathered from previous levels. There's a lot of tech advances that are, say, available in here. If we go to the power station, there'll be 5 different tech advances that I could potentially find here. The scrapyard has that, and also has an artifact, which changes the nature of the playthrough of the game. It's sort of a giant passive that affects everything that goes on. And inside these particular hulks, you're going to be encountering different kinds of enemies, different kinds of defense systems, but there are also going to be goal times, rewards, and bonuses for doing certain things, or indeed not doing certain things. So this is where risk-reward kind of comes into play. You see here in the warship, it wants you to keep the door systems intact. And if you do that, $37,000 additional dollars. Don't trip any alarms. Kill 5 juggernauts in the process. Maybe if we head over to the factory, we'll see this one wants you to blow up all the door systems. But your max loadout, if you go with a max loadout that's only $80,000, we'll give you a bonus $75,000. If you run without shields, we'll give you $37,000. So you think to yourself, do I want to take that risk or not? Well, let's try doing just that and see what happens. We already have a difficulty indicator, which probably means we're going to die horribly for attempting this, but it's a good demonstration of that risk-reward aspect. So here we are. We'll jump in. Our salvage ship heads on over, and then we get a chance to load out our rig, which is basically a mech for all intents and purposes. All right. Turn off controller mode. I think that's probably a good idea, and that's probably got a lot to do with the fact that I couldn't actually move around. It's a little weird that there would even be a controller mode. I mean, controller mode is currently set to off, and if we go to controls, you'll see that controller mode is very clearly not on. There we go. But now it's working correctly. Cool. Weird little bug. So this is your ship, and all of the tech advances that you get are going to be available in loadout, but everything costs money. You can test whatever you want here. So by default, this is what I got. I have this sort of scattergun type weapon. And I also on mouse 2 have Stinger rockets. If I hit F, that is a reflection shield that I can put up, which will reflect stuff back at it. And of course, you know, that uses energy and all that sort of thing. All of this ammo that I'm currently using doesn't cost me anything, but as soon as I go into the ship, everything I take costs money. So you've got to balance what you decide to load out and what you don't want to load out. They say maximum loadout of 80,000. That's quite cheap. Like right now, this loadout, which is a pretty basic loadout, costs $150,000 to roll with. So I'll be like, oh god, okay, should I roll with an expensive one? Looking at those rewards, I mean, the reward for running this is only $146,000, but this loadout costs $150,000 to run with. That's a problem. So, can I scrimp and save somewhere? Yeah, I could. I can reduce my hull strength. That makes the loadout cheaper. I could take less ammunition. That makes the loadout cheaper. I can take off things like the shield. I mean, the shield's only $10,000, but that's the sort of thing you might want to consider. But then you're thinking, oh, well, what if I run out of ammo while I'm in there? That's potentially a problem. Maybe I might want to take a melee weapon that has infinite attack. But that again costs money. So these are all things you're considering. Look at things like maybe a energy blaster. That's something that might work. Rechargeable energy. It's not going to cost me ammo, but I just added something to my ship that costs yet more money to fly with. Do I want to keep hazard coding on? Do I want to take repairs? Like, I'm going in here with no repair kits, and I'm looking at this money, I'm thinking, oh, God. Can I even make money off this run? I can, if I do it well and don't screw it up, but not an easy game, necessarily. So maybe I take a couple of hull repair kits. All right, it's $135,000, and the reward is $146,000. I've got $220,000 in the back if I get maybe one of those bonuses. I can go without a shield. I get the shield and the door systems. Screw that loadout. But it's tempting. It's so tempting, isn't it? You look and it's like, but what if I could do that? But that's the consequence. Because if you go in and you screw it up, your money's gone. It's gone. I'm going in there with 100 rounds of scattergun, 150 of those missiles, this blaster that recharges, and some repair kits. Is that enough? We're about to find out. Let's get in there. Now, if we have a look at the map, you'll see it's absolutely massive. So once they get out of here, we'll show you what. Look at this. So this is the size of the ship, and this is one of the smaller ships in the game. So you'll be planning your route. You're thinking, oh god, what do I have to do? Well, I have to shut the brain down. I have to destroy the core. But they also want me to blow up the door systems. Where are they? Let's have a look. They have drone factories. They have sentry control units. There's the door system right up the top right there. Where do I insert? Well, I could actually just waypoint, fly all the way around, go in here, and blow it up that way. And I could maybe blow up the drone factory on the way and pick up some tech along the way as well. Those are some options. Grab a key. Getting to the core, probably not that hard, but bear in mind the core's going to be protected by stuff. It's shielded. There's a shield system somewhere in here. I've got to probably eliminate that. Where's the shield system? It's right there. Is it covered by anything? Well, the door system is probably shutting me out of that. So if I blow the door system up, I'll be good, right? Okay, so let's do the door system first. Then maybe we can work our way around the outside of the ship, go in through the left, and you see the sort of aspect of planning here. It's not your average run and gun game. The planning aspect is important, and as we were told at the start, we're basically almost broke because I screwed up a bunch of missions, and that has a real consequence. That's something that I don't see in a lot of games like that. A lot of twin-stick shooters don't really have that. And all these optional objectives give you just this massive, tempting risk-reward system. And it is so very, very tempting to go and do that. You gotta be super careful not to. Because you think, I am capable of this. I know I can do it. And then the reality sinks in. I can't! I'm actually bad. You know? That's something that really stings. It can really, really sting. And I'm looking at that and saying, oh god, there's a shield system on here. I've already taken some hull damage already. This is way harder than it looks. Good lord. How on earth do I get out of this? How do I do this right? I'm trying to evade and dodge and not get hit by this constant avalanche of drones that are coming in this general direction. Let's have another look at that map. Where's the door system? Of course, the door system is behind a locked door. Thankfully, there is a key right down there, so I can go grab that. Grabbing that. Very important to let me in. Okay, that will let me in. And all the while, I'm managing this ammo, because this ammo costs money. We'll get in there. Be careful not to get hit. These are some of the easier enemies in the game, good lord. Use the blaster, don't use the money when I can avoid it. And then I've got to do a little mini game here. Which is trickier than it looks. There we go, to open that. Come on, let's get this right. All the while, of course, there's drones hunting me down. There could be big juggernauts that are manufactured and come in to try and kill you. There we go. Door controls are now down. That's good. Okay, now where do we go? Well, unfortunately, the ship has a self-repair system. So, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to have to do this quick or destroy the repair system. So, door system's down. I could get to the shields and then the core if I'm quick. And I'll have to be quick. So, let's go. Let's go. Right now. Now, screw waiting. Screw anything. Go. Hit the boosters. Get out of the door. Right now. All the way around the outside of the ship. You seeing why this is a little bit different to a lot of these regular run-of-the-mill twin sticks? You're seeing why this is the sort of thing that is maybe a little bit unexpected and is maybe worth a look over all of those other damn twin sticks that are all over the market right now. Steam is full of them, but is it full of something that looks like this? That has this kind of functionality? That has these kind of ideas and principles in the design? Not necessarily. Oh god, now I'm trapped inside whatever the hell this is. I've got to unlock that and not take too much more damage. Oh, of course! Of course! It's a damn quick time event to get out. Ugh. So many traps. And this is just at the start of the game. It just gets more and more complex from here on in. Let's have a quick look at that. We need to hit that and hit the core now. So let's get a quick direction to get there. I also need to hit my damn repairs. Alright, get my stuff back online. There we go. Alright, quickly make our way through here. Find that shield system, destroy it. And preferably don't kill myself in the process, which is actually harder than it looks. Because a lot of these guys have reflection. And then you're seeing my ammo slowly go down, aren't you? How tense. So there's like the main crux of what I think makes Cryptark a lot more special than a lot of these kind of twin stick shooters. Shields are down. Let's head there quickly. That aspect of economy, that aspect of risk reward that is constantly kind of shoved in your face unavoidably. And what that does to you as a player. What it makes you do. Oh no, I'm out of damn hull repair. It makes you arrogant. It makes you feel like, I am so much better than, and I'm dead. And all that money just went right out of the window. And I'm broke. Simple as that. Probably best to restart the game. Because I just lost it. But that's pretty damn unique, isn't it? Campaign is over. Start it again. Brand new procedurally generated ships. You'll do better next time. A huge variety of weaponry to try. And hopefully, a little bit of humility on your part. That hubris maybe, just maybe, took a giant kick to the balls, didn't it? That's why I think maybe you should be trying Cryptark. For that. Because there aren't really all that many games that are willing to do that and willing to slap you down and say, you know what? You're not quite as good as you think you are. My name is TotalBiscuit, and I would suggest trying Cryptark. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, by all means, do feel free to click the like button. If not, the dislike button is right over there. And of course, you can discuss this over on our official subreddit, reddit.com/r/cynicalbritofficial. I'll see you next time.